our bootcamp, and today we're gonna learn about these topics: run apps, material apps. All these concepts will be covered in this bootcamp. So let's just start this out. First of all, let me just tell you about what we will end up with the on the fifth day of our boot camp. So let me just show you the app which we are going to make on the we're going to go to complete this app on the fifth day of our boot camp. So this is our BMI calculator, and it can choose the gender. You can choose any gender. All right. You can give the height here and the weight of year. Give some values here. Okay, and your age. All right, and you have to click here to calculate the value of your BMI. All right, so it is underweight right now, and you would have this kind of we're gonna make this kind of app in our bootcamp. All right, so let's just back to the presentation again. Okay, the content of today is these are the content of today. Run app. So first of all, start with the run app. Whenever you make the project in your Flutter app, so the first function you're gonna write is the run app function, and whatever you write in the whatever the widget you write in the run app function, it would be the root of that widget tree. Okay, let me just first tell you about what is the widget. Everything in the Flutter is made of the widget. All right, if you just like even the text, if you take a text or any image or the column or the row, any button, any switches, and anything you take in the Flutter is made up is called widget. All right, it is a kind of component of the app. Like button, you can take the widget as a component of the app. Okay, all right. So we may we just combine the components of the app to make a app application. All right, so you start out with the run app function, and whatever the widget you put here is considered as the root of the widget tree. Okay, if you may be familiar with the tree structure in the algorithm, or what, if you are not, even not, it doesn't matter. Consider it as the root of the tree. All right, whatever you put here would be considered as the starting point or the root point of that tree, and after that you will be dividing and branching out from that tree. All right, first is the run app function. All right, after that you now we have the material app here, and the material app is kind of a file which have everything you want to have in your Flutter app, or you want to use the material components of the Flutter app. You have to use the material app function. All right, so material app is the starting point of your app, and it tells the Flutter that you are going to use the material component. Okay, in Flutter we only use the material components. All right, and follow the material design in your app. Okay, so you can see here that in run app we use the material app, which is also a kind of widget, a big widget which cover all in which all of our with other widgets are branched out. Okay, so this is our root widget of every application, most of every application. All right, and after that we have the property of the material. Okay, in the material app we have different properties, like home properties. You can give the theme data to the material app. You can add the screen if you want to add the screen to the material app. Okay, obviously we need the screens to our apps, to our app. So there are the two different options to that. One is you have to define the different routes for the different screens. If you Hello.
जी
Yes.
सर, can you share previous video, sir?
What?
Yesterday, sir, you will learn. Yesterday, sir, you was learning, sir.
Yesterday we were learning about the Dart.
Yes, sir. Sir, can
Yeah.
you share video, sir?
Video.
Yes,
Mehtab,
sir.
that video would be uploaded on
Uh,
TSCUOS YouTube channel. I'm writing
okay.
down the
Yeah.
channel name.
Sir, can you share a link?
Okay, so I guess Umair would answer this one.
Please ask such FAQs and short questions in the chat. I will answer you. Okay, Mehtab, I'm sending you the link right now.
Okay, so we are at the home. Okay, consider the home as a property of the material app, right? So there are the two different ways of giving the screen to the material app. Obviously we need the screens to the material app. So when you want to make a application of the one or two or maybe make three screens, you can use the home for that. But if you are making any complex application or the large application where you need more than five six seven the different screens, so you need to use the initial route, which I'll be showing you later. But we will be using the home for this screen stuff. All right, so it is a property that defines the starting point of your application. It provides the default route unless the initial route are specified. All right, so the okay, the second one I told you about the initial route. So whenever whatever screen you put in the home is considered as your initial route, or you can say it the initial screen. Okay, so in the fourth one, whenever you make the classes, okay, there are the two the widget, two kinds of widget. You can divide them you can divide the widget into the two kinds: stateful widget and the stateless widget. And this topic will be covered tomorrow, because covered tomorrow. Okay, but in this video we're going to talk about the scaffold. So scaffold is always used under the material app, but scaffold give you the kind of the basic functionalities. Okay, if you want to use the app bar, which is pre-coded in the scaffold. If you want to use the bottom navigation drawer or the floating action button and the other stuff of the material app that are pre-built in the scaffold, so you only need to use them. So you don't have to code all the write the code for the app bar or anything other basic functionalities. So you just use the scaffold for all of our basic functionalities application. And okay, this is the the end product of today. We'll be ending up with this kind of layout. Only today we'll be making the layout of the application, of our application. And second thing, we will change the theme of our application. All right, so let's just now move to the code here. So this is the code of our whole application, but I will make the things from the starting. But I think I just need to copy these constant values which I would be needing in my new app. So let's just copy this thing. Okay, make a new Flutter project. If you want to make a Flutter project, so you have to click on the new Flutter project. Okay, Flutter application, PMI. Okay, calculator. This is where give the name to your project name, and this is your Flutter SDK pathway. And this is a description of your application, how you describe your application. All right, and this is where your project will be saved. So next. Okay, let's just wait for it. It's gonna take a little time. Okay, let me just tell you about the first thing we're gonna make in our app is the app bar. So this is the tree structure of our application. If you are familiar with the tree structure, I already told you that whatever you put in the run app function will be considered as the rooted widget. So the material app our rooted widget. And in the property of the material widget, the home property of the material widget, we use a scaffold. Okay, and in scaffold there are already available the bunch of properties which we'll be using, and a bar is one of them. So let's just okay terminate this. Okay, let me just run this application for a while. Okay, this is a default application of the Flutter, which you will always can be seen when you want to make the new project. So all you need to do is to remove this. Okay, I want to remove this. Mhm. Okay, you got to remove this, and we'll be using the stateful widget now. Stateful widget now. So I'm going stateful widget has a shortcut of stateful widget, which is STFUL for the stateful widget, and it will give the whole, the structure of the stateful widget. Now I'm gonna give it a name of okay, BMI. Okay, now the here I'm gonna write the material app as rooted is our rooted widget. Okay, material app, and in the material app, the home would be our initial root. So what I want to give in the initial root, obviously the BMI class, where we'll be making our the screen. Okay, okay, all right. Now we got some the error here. Sometimes it's just give the error here because we just changed the name of the rooted widget. So most of the time it doesn't give us any kind of error, but sometimes just it come up with the error that you here. Okay, here you have to write the name of the material app, your rooted widget, which is the material app. Okay, yeah, now it will work fine. There is no error anymore here. Okay, so back to the main file. All right. Okay, with the sentences, and where the heck? Okay, you got to click here. I got to find my application here. Okay, this was our basic application, but as we just deleted all the code of default application of the of Flutter, so we need to give it some name. Okay, let me just tell you about the widget and the widget build and these all this stuff. Okay, this is our rooted app, rooted widget, and in the property, home property of the rooted widget, we use the BMI. Okay, sorry for that inconvenience. In the home, we're gonna use the screen initial screen, which is the BMI. Okay, which is the stateful widget as well as stateful widget, and this is the build function, which will give us the widget in the whatever we write the code here. So first of all, I want to write some text here. To write the text in the Flutter app, you need to use the text widget. So what you need to do here, you have to write text widget. All right, you have used the text widget. Now you will write the any string you want. I want to write hello world here. Okay, and if you want to give the customized text style, so you have to use the style properties of the text widget. And in style property, we use that text class for that, text style class for that. And I just want to change the font size of my text widget. So I'm gonna write the 30 here and run the code again. Let's just wait for it. Okay, this was a text widget without using the escape word. So but if I just you know let me just make the escapeful widget first, then after. we'll be using this scaffold. Okay, in the scaffold we're gonna you have to use, we have the different properties. Okay, now let me just show you the properties of the scaffold. Now you can see here there are the bunch of properties in our scaffold widget. We have the body property, and we have the floating action bar property, drawer, and the bottom navigation bar. If you are familiar with any kind of the mobile development, you would have known these concepts. And we also have the a bar as well. So first of all, I want to give the a bar to my application. So I will write the a bar here and use the a bar class. Okay, and it does have the kind of different properties as well. And if you want to see the property of any widget, what you need to do is to put this cursor on that on the app bar. Okay, if I want to use the, I want to see the properties of the app bar, so put the cursor on the app bar. Now you need to use the shortcut here, control q. Okay, you would see the properties that are available in the in our a bar. Okay, so we have the leading property, which is a widget. We have the title and bunch of properties. You can play with these properties, but here we will only be using a single property, which is the title property. So just to give the name to our a bar in title, we're gonna use the text widget. And I want to write the bmi calculator to my a bar and give some styling. Okay, it will work fine if I don't it will work with the default, styling, if I don't give it any kind of customized styling here. So just let's just run this. Okay, now you can see that we have the body. All right, this is our body, this is our a bar. And in scaffold, everything is the, we have all these basic properties. Because but if we don't use the scaffold, as I previously did, I didn't use the scaffold, just write out the text widget, you would see that blank screen. So it would be really hard to work on that, because we never do the work without the scaffold widget. So now we have used the calculator. Okay, that is there. So this was our this is how we make the a bar. First we give to use the material app in our run app function. Then we have to give a scaffold in the home property of the material app. Then in the scaffold, we use the a bar property to show the a bar of our application. Okay, now what's the next thing to do? Okay, next thing we're gonna be use the column widget. Okay, what is the column widget? Column widget, these are the, these are kind of layout widgets. Let me just show you here. I want to browse something here. So just let me give you okay, just go to the layout. Okay, now you can see that there are the two kind of layout widget here: a single child layout widget and the multi child layout widget. In the single child layout widget, you can only have a one child widget. Okay, and in the multi child layout, you can have more than one widget. You can have more than one widgets. And example of the multi child layout are the rows and the columns, row, column, and grid. Let me just show you here. Multi-layer, you have a column, you have flow, you have the bunch of other, the widgets, grid view, index, layout. All of these, all of these are the layout widgets and multi-layout widgets. And you can have more than one child in these widgets. That's why they are called multi-child layout. Okay, now we got to use the column widget here. So in scaffold, we also have the property of the body, which is main property. Here we will declare our column widget. Okay, so here we declare a column widget. And as I told you, in column widget, you can have more than children. You can have more childrens. Okay, and it aligns the every child vertically. Let me just show you the definition of the definition first here. It is a widget that display its children in a vertical array. or you can say it vertical arrangement. All right, and to call, and there's a one more thing I want to add here. If you want a child to expand, to fill the available space in the column widget, you have to use the expand widget as well, which we'll be discussing later. But let me just use the column widget here. In column widgets, first we have to look at what are the properties of the column widget by clicking on the control q. So we have these bunch of properties: axis alignment properties, main axis alignment properties, cross axis alignment properties, and text direction, which we won't be using, and text vertical direction. We won't be using all any of these properties. Just we will using the list property, which is property, and cross axis alignment or the main axis alignment properties. All right. So in column, just let me write down some children here. Okay. Okay, run this course first. Okay, I have just created the column widget, but I haven't, given any widget to the children. That's why it is not showing anything to us, because it is a layout widget, and layout widget by themselves doesn't show anything. It just arrange the different and other widgets which we will be using in them as their children widget. So let me just show you here that we are the our column widget is covering all over our space. So okay, no, this not this one. Okay, here it is a Flutter inspector, and you can see here in this inspector you will be looking at the different widgets that we have used, and it would tell you about how every the widget covered the space here. Now then column widget, if we click on the column widget here, now you can see that in column widget all of our space is covered. All of our the body screen, this white screen is covered. All right. So if okay, now I need to write the I need to write any widget here. Okay, well, let me show what will you make making now. Okay, so this was the column widget. We use the material in scaffold. In body property we use the column widget, and in column widget we will be using the container widget. Okay. Okay, all right. What is a container widget? Container widget is kind of the convenient widget that is used that is used for the painting, positioning, or sizing the other widgets that will be used in it. All right. If the container has no children, it will try to be big as possible. It can cover the whole screen if doesn't have any constraint or any children. But if it does have any child widget, it will be small as to the size of the child widget. All right, so let me just show you here. Okay, I don't now want to use the column widget first. Just okay, let me just delete this. uh, all right. Okay, in body we are using a container for now. All right, I hope it's working fine. uh Let me just reflect. Okay, whenever you have to reformat your code, you have to right click and reformat the code with the DAO format. It will the reformat your code in the very pretty way. Now I want to give color to my container widget, and color would be like colors dot. I want to use a green color. Okay, let me just shut this down, the properties from here. Okay. Okay, now you can see here we haven't given any child to the container. So we had a condition that when a container widget doesn't have any child, it will try to size itself as big as possible. So our screen was the biggest limit, so it covered itself in it. But if we just wrap something, any children in it, I want to put the text widget in it. So what do we write? The text for that, and in text we write I want to write the name here, Uncle Bob. And no, let's just run this out. Okay, now you can see that when it does have has a children, sorry, child widget, it constrained or limit itself to the small as possible it can to the child widget. Okay, so you can say that whenever the container widget has a child, it size itself to the size of the child widget. All right. Now I guess we should back to our column widget. This is what I want to tell you. Okay, in column widget, we'll be using the children property. Okay, in children property, we can add as many as widget we want. Okay, what do we want here? We wanted the container widget. Okay, we want a container widget here, and okay, let me just show you here container widget. Okay, uh, let me just give it a height here. Height 100 and width 100. All right, and color would be colors dot green. All right. Okay, now it is a part of our column, and all right. Now, okay, now I want to extend. Now, what do you want here? I want to expand my column widget to all the available space of the column. All right. Let me just add here one more property. Mm, cross axis alignment, and in the cross axis alignment we'll be using cross axis property, and there are different properties. You can stretch your column. Okay, it will be expanded to the ends of our screen, from the left side to the right side. If you want to put your column into the center, you can put it. If you want to start out from the start from here, and so you can do it. Okay, in cross axis alignment, we'll be using the horizontal thing. All be changes come to the horizontal thing, but for now I want to stretch out my widget right now. So I will write the stretch property here, and it will stretch out my container widget despite of the width. Okay, whenever you stretch out something here, if I don't give it any value to the container, it will still stretch out the my container widget to its possible values, to it maximum limit. All right, now what I need to do here, uh, I want to add, I want to change the radius of the our container. So I'll be using the decoration property for that. In decoration property, you'll be using the box decoration class here. Okay, in box decoration class, we want to change the border here. Okay, I want to change the border radius. Okay, so we'll be write the border radius. No, okay, we'll write the border radius. Now I want to make it bit circular. Okay, and here I will be giving it some values here. Okay, so that would work fine, I guess. Okay, that will work fine. Okay, you have to remember one thing here, that in container, whenever you are using the decoration property, so you have to remove the color from outside of okay, you have to remove the color from here and put the same color property here. Here. Okay, I want to give it, for example, for now, the green color, colors dot green. We are good with it. But if I just use if I use the decoration and give the color to hair, okay, we can also give the color to hair. But whenever you are using the decoration, you must give color inside the decoration or the box decoration clause, because it is a kind of condition there. It is a kind of condition in the container widget, that you cannot use the color property of the container whenever you are using the decoration. you can give it the color from inside our decoration, which is here. Okay, so we have now the radius, circular kind of radius. Okay, now I want to expand my widget, expand my container widget. Okay, first let me just show you what is the expand widget is. So this is how our container work. Okay, now I use a scaffold, and a scaffold I use the column, and in column we use the contain single container widget yet. Now I will be using the expanded widget, which will do expand uh, the child of the row and the column or the flex. Okay, so what is the expanded widget? It is a kind of widget that expand is child widget is expand the child of the row, column, or the flex, and it will expand to the limit that it fills the available space, all the available space in our the screen. Okay, so whenever we are using the okay whenever you are using okay the okay whenever we using the expanded widget with our what do I say here, which is the column. So in column you need to know that
Assalamu alaikum, Fahad bhai.
yes.
So actually, I joined right now, and for some reason,
Yeah,
so
yes
can you
sir.
please elaborate some upper lines of code which you mentioned upper, and
Okay,
yeah, please in shortly. I will
okay,
be like, happy.
you want to see the code here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, it's fine. Okay, so first of all, we talked about the run app. It is a function, and whatever widget you put here is a kind of considered as the rooted widget. Okay, the starting point of the widget, that widget tree, and in that material app, which is our the kind of big widget, or the starting point of our widget tree, has a property named home. Okay, it is a property where we can give it a kind of default screen here, and it does have and okay home material app have the two properties, home and let me show the other one, initial root. Okay, so whenever you are using the more than 3 4 5, or the for you're making any big application or the large application, and you have to deal with more than
Fadbi,
five
Fadbi, what does it
yes.
mean by material app?
Okay, what is it is a widget kind, it is a kind of class, right? You whenever you want to use the material components of the Google that are designed by the Google, designed by the Google, we have to use the material app. Okay, for example, you want to use a button or the text widget, okay, or any other the component of our application that are already the pre-built or the pre-coded in our material app. So we use the material app to access all those components. Got the
Okay,
point?
yeah, it means that it's a pre-built
Yeah,
widget.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is a pre-built widget. It is a pre-built widget. It does have everything, and every app you make in the Flutter, you start out with the material app, and in material app you always use the scaffold for the basic structure application structures.
And if we don't use this, then
Uh,
what?
I guess it won't work because I never seen or used any app in the Flutter which use the any other thing than the material app.
Okay.
All right. So
So
home is
what next?
okay.
Yeah, yeah. What next?
Okay, now in home we declare our default screen. Okay, so the BMI is a kind of our default screen, and the widgets are of two kinds. I already discussed that stateful widget and the stateless widget. This is the topic of tomorrow, which we'll be discussing tomorrow. So I don't want to give deeper in it. So we make the stateful widget. There is a shortcut for writing the stateful widget. You will write the stful, and it will come up with all this structure here automatically. And
Padri, BMI, can you please elaborate shortly? BMI.
it is a class, it is a name of class, nothing else. The name of class.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just name of class. Okay, now we have the stateful widget right now here, and this build function builds the widget for you. Whatever you write here in the context here in return, This is, I'm giving it the scaffold and all this structure. So whenever I just call the, this build function, it just, build everything for me on the screen. All right, so first we use the a bar. In a scaffold we already have the a bar as a pre, coded property. We have the body in which we use a column here, and in column we use the container widget, and column is a kind of multi child layout widget. Okay, so in column I am trying to give it some kind of decoration here. So I have done with the decoration right now. I want to wrap it into the expanded widgets. So let me just explain it to you, the expanded widget here. Okay, no, just first, uh okay, not this. Okay, all right. No, no, in the column. Okay, no skimming area indication here, just leave this now. Okay, remember one point, that in column widget we know that everything we align is in the in the vertical position. So it just cover the, the all the vertical aware, all the vertical space of your screen. But in, the width, in the horizontal section, it only covers the what it only covers the screen, depends upon the width of your, the widest child widget. Okay, if I just expand it here right now, I want to expand the container widget. Okay, you can easily wrap the widget into the another widget. So how can you do that? You will click on that widget and show context action. Now I want to put it in the expanded widget. All right, I will write the wrap into the widget. Now I will give it a name here, expanded widget. It just come up here. And now what it will do, and remember one point here, in column we have the available space, vertical available space. Okay, so it will cover the whole screen for now. Okay, you can see that it just covered our whole, the screen, because in column I already told you we have the vertical space as considered as possible. All right, now I want to make another expanded widget right now. So I will just copy out this and paste it in the end. So let me just copy this out. Okay, let me first just show you the here. Okay, expanded widget, we just expanded it, and I just made the three different expanded widget and one other widget for the button, which will be making later. I use the container for now here. So now I'll be using expanded widget for the three time. Okay, let's just run this out here. Now you can see that there are the two different expanded widget. Okay, but in expanded widget you can I would say you, it is possible to there is a kind of flexibility or availability to the space. It's just like, if you make the another expanded widget, the both our expanded widget, so we have the two expanded widget. All right, so both of these widget will try to, divide the space, divide the space equally. So if I just write the third expanded widget here, so this all the space of our body will be divided into three, will be divided into the three pieces. So let's just run this out, and you would see that our, the screen is divided into the three different expanded widgets. So whenever you use the expanded widgets more than one, it divide the available space. Whenever we had the one expanded widget, it just cover all our screen. But when I just, write down the second one, they just divided that space into the two section. But when I write the third one, it divided the whole screen into the three different sections. Okay, so now I want to use one more widget which will be using for our, okay, I'm doing it inside the container, which will be using for our button, for the calculate button. So here is the container which will be using container widget now. And in container widget, I'll be giving it the height, okay, of 70, I guess is fine. It will work fine. And I would like to add here the color, because I don't want to give any kind of circular radius or anything, so I can give the directly color into here. So I'm not using the decoration property here, that's why I'm using the color in the correct in the container directly. So I want to give a color stored. I want to use a pink color for now. Okay, you can see that this space is covered by our container widget. Okay, so this was our tree of this screen. So first of all, we started with the material app, then we use the scaffold, then in the scaffold properties we use the app bar, and in app bar, in the scaffold, in the body property we use the column, and in column we edit the four different child widgets. Okay, which was the expanded widget, and one were the container widget, which was for the button. All right, now what we need to do next here. Okay, now it's not looking so any good, so we have to give some spacing between all of our expanded widgets. So for the spacing between them, so we'll be using the padding widget. So let me just first tell you what is the padding widget is. If you ever been familiar with the design, the if you ever use the Photoshop or any other front end web development, you will be familiar with the padding and the margin stuff. If you ever use the CSS, okay, yeah, that one CSS. The widget that inserts its child by the given padding. Okay, so it just give the padding to your widget. That's it. See, this is the only function of the padding widget. So how can we do that? Okay, we have to put. Okay, I want to put. Okay. Here is the one more thing here. Uh, Let me just pull it down. Now you can see here that I have written the same code, again and again. The expanded widget, I have written the expanded widget with the same line of a code for the three times. So whenever you do this thing in the programming, it is a trash. You never do this thing is a kind of programming. This is considered as the bad practice of the kind of programming. You use the same code for the multiple times. So what we need to do, we do it with the single line of code? Yes, we can do it. So how would we do that? We have to extract our expanded widget. Okay, what it will do, it will only create, it will create, let me just show you here. It will create the reusable custom widget. All right, so how can we create the reusable custom widget? We can do it with the help of extraction. Okay, there is a the option of the extracting the widget. So what you need to do, uh, right click on the widget which you want to extract. Okay, now go to the refactor, and you would have the extract option here. In extract option, you have to click on the extract flutter widget right now. Okay, so I want to extract this thing. So I want to give it a name of card here. Okay, I want to give it a card here. Okay, now you can see that it really pre-built written everything for me by itself. It just created the class for my the expanded and content. It just let me just show you. It just created the class for creating this this kind of output, or this the container, expanded container. So what we need to do now? Okay, I use it here. This is fine. Now I don't need to write these expanded widgets again and again. What I would do, I just remove this from now, and this as well. Okay, now I got to use the card. All right, comma, and card widget, comma again, and you won't be seeing any kind of difference there. Okay, it just yeah, it just restarted, and it is working fine. Now you can see that our code is bit cleaner, so it doesn't look a bit messy or okay. One more thing we can do here is to create the different file of the card, of our card widget. Okay, so this is a customized and reusable widget. We have created the reusable customized widget here, which is the composed of the different widgets here. Now I want to put it into the another file. So whenever you want to okay, and library, I want to put another file here. So whenever you want to create the new file, a new dart file in the Flutter, so you have to do this dart file. Okay, and I want to name it at dot card name. All right, so this is our this is our card file, and I would be pasting this code at this down and here. So material. Okay, whenever you want try to make any the Flutter app, you have to import the material.app, this file. You have to import this package. Okay, now you can just put here, and whenever I want to use the card file in my main dot file, I have to import this card file. Okay, so I will just write its name here, card.net. It's just importing right now. Now you can use the card. Okay, it's not using the card here. All right, so what is the error? Okay, let me just do this card. Okay, okay, I haven't initialized the class now for now, so let me just initialize the class here. I get to do this again. Card, yeah, it's not working. Card is not defined. All right, let me just see this card, and I got to define it here. Card widget from our card property, and card, and what we need to do here is to initialize this. All right, I don't know, name defined properties, it's not working. I don't know why. There is an error here. Okay, I don't know why it's giving some kind of error. Okay, let's just do the move back to our. I will explain this to solve this later. Okay, don't just move this car. Okay, it's fine. It's working fine now. What I just did here. Yeah, it's just working fine now, I guess. Okay, let me just import this card dot in Flutter. Okay, where is the error coming here? Okay, I think I should put it on the last file. I don't know what kind of error we are having right now, and this doesn't happen last time when I just wrote this here. So put it here. That would be fine for now. So okay, it's working fine for now. Yeah. So I guess there was some kind of error while putting into another file. I don't know why, but let's just do it from now right here. I will be fixing it in the next section. Okay, we have created the card here. Now what do I want to do here? I want to add some kind of padding here. So I would wrap our container widget into the padding. Okay, and controls S for the save. Okay, and it will give us this kind of good the padding. Okay, what does the padding give does? I just told you, it just give you the space between just give me the spacing between expanded widget and the container widget. Okay, so the container widget is just covering all the space, and I just wanted that my container widget just should have a breathing space from my expanded widgets. So I just added the padding here and write the 16 here to give kind of more padding. Okay, it's working fine now. Now what we need to do, we have to create the okay, we have to create the two cards here. So what we'll be using now, we have to use the row widget here. So I just wrap this card. Let me just make the row widget here. For the row widget, you do the same thing as we did for the column widget. Okay, so for the row widget, you write the row. Okay, and it does have the same property, same cross axis alignment property and the main axis alignment property and the children. So we do everything in the same way in row and the uh, column. Okay, but there is a difference that in row you say its children are set horizontally, not vertically. Okay, I want to use the two cards here, card and card 2. All right, now it will be working fine, I guess. Yeah, it's working fine. Thank God. Okay, we'll do the same thing. We just copy this code and put it here. Okay. Okay, but there is a size difference between these stuff. Let me just set out the size of it. Okay, in height, I want to give 200. Yeah, I will. I think 200 is fine. Well, I'll go with the 180. Yeah, we can argue on that, but just go for the 200. Okay. Okay, so we have just made the layout of our app, our BMI app. Now, what we need to do is to use to change the theme of our, the app. So after changing out the theme of our app, this is how our app would look like. This is how our app would look like. So how can you do this? So we don't have to add anything in the any widget or anything in our app. All we need to do is we will go to our material app, and now I will show the properties of the material app. Okay, okay, there is a this way, and you can also go to the this material class. If you want to go, you have to click on the control and control B to go into this class. Okay, so these are all the properties of our material app. So now I want to use the theme property. Let me just show you the theme property here. This is our theme property, and it is set it to the default. Now I want to use the data here. So I will write the theme. Okay, theme data, and in theme data, okay, let me just open the emulator. Okay, now you can see there are a bunch of things in the theme data. So we won't be using all of them. We will only be using a couple of properties of the theme data. But I want my the theme to be the darker version of the theme. So it is already the default version of it. So I can put my theme into the dark version by just by writing dot here, and it will work fine. Okay, but by default your app data is on the light version. Okay, so if I write the light here, it won't give me any kind of changes here. All right, but if I want the darker version of my app here, which is pre the install or pre written code, or by default, you would okay, you haven't seen any difference there. Okay, okay, let me tell you one more thing here. Okay, there is a concept of the hot reload and hot restart in the Flutter. So whenever you press the Control Save button, it will just rebuild this widget. It will only rebuild or recall this build function. Okay, okay. So whatever we did in here was out of this build context. So if I just write the light version here, and I'm using the control S, it won't give me any kind of difference, because whenever you use the hot reload, it just rebuild this function, all these things here which are written here. But for if you want to restart your application, you have to use the hot restart, which was here. So if I just click on here, it will run all the application again for you. So just restart this. and it gave me the light version of our application, but I want to go with the darker one. And okay, I want to use the darker version of the application, but here is the thing that I want but if you just want to do some changes in the some changes in the darker version of your theme, so what you need to do for now, you have to use the method which is copy with. So whatever you want to change here, you will have to use here. I want to use the scaffold color, background color. Okay, I have to copy something from my last file, so I got to open that file now. So I I have the colors defined here, so it will just give me the 2 minutes for that. Okay, I would go in the here constraint, and I've already created this wall for my own ease and for your ease. So I just copy and paste there, and okay, let me just delete this. Okay, now I have to create the file. I hope it won't give me any kind of the error which was giving. Okay, constants. Constants. Okay, all fine. Import, it would be needed, I guess. Yeah, it would be needed if I import material, Flutter material app. Yeah, now it's working fine. So I just need to use the two colors from here. That would be the color of activated color. And okay, let me just check this out. Okay, that would be the activated color, and this is the button color. Okay, so let's just give it a color here. I want to change the scaffold background color, so it would be the darker version of the activated color. uh, so first I have to import the file here. Import constants, the dart file. Okay, now I hope I won't give any error here. Activated. Okay, we are using the activated color. Hopefully it is working fine. And okay, activated color. All right, let me just delete this. Okay, activated color. And for the for the primary color, primary color, I will be using the darker version of the blue. Would be blue. I will go with the blue. And you can change the intensity here. I think we won't be using the same color here. Okay, it's fine. So we just needed to use the two color here, and we have to give the colors here to our card property. So for the card, we have to use the blue color here. I think I just I'm using the color from here because I just guess I lost my color palette that I have saved somewhere. So I will look after that later. So I'm using 500. Would work fine now. Yes, just looking fine. Well, we just have a different color right now from our the this, but I will just change the color after our session. So okay, so this was the end of the today's bootcamp, and we have made the layout of our widget. We use the different the widgets here. Let me just show you the context here again. Okay, previously. Okay, we use try to use the run app material, and we use the column widget, container widget, and expanded widget, padding widget. And we just learn how can we extract the widget or make the reusable widget. And we also use the raw widget for that. And in the end, we just change the theme of the we just change the theme of the our application. Okay, what is the benefit of using the theme data here? So whenever you want to create the second screen, okay, whenever you want to create the second screen without, if we don't use the theme data and give every widget its own color, it will be kind of it will be kind of come up with the default theme version that we were at the starting. It will come out like that, I guess. Okay, not this. Okay, it would come up like this, theme again on the second screen. So just for so for the saving time, we use the theme data, so we could just use every the same color on every screen and just save our time. And this was, I can, the end of our today session. If anybody have a question, he or she can ask.
Everybody, please check out the attendance form, fill it out, and ask the questions. Or if you have any kind of query or argument, you may just drop here.